part in raising awareness and equipping others to join us in this fight. Together, I know we can end good trafficking in Georgia for good.
Thank you to Wellspring Living for all you do, and keep up the great work.
God bless.
God bless.
Well, listen, if you are eating, you can feel free to continue to eat, but I need you to keep it down because we're going to go ahead and start this journey together. You might be wondering why exactly you're here or where this actually beginning point is, and I'm going to invite this person to the stage so that she can get us kicked off. Kathy Scott has been with UPS. Okay, now. That's a break to the building. Kathy Scott has been with UPS for 29 years. She serves as Vice President of Social Impact and the UPS Foundation. She's also on the Governor's Task Force of Anti-Human Trafficking Effort and the Grace Commission, a proud board member of the Wellspring Living. As a breast cancer survivor, you can probably see her daunting her pink tutu with her family in a few weeks just out there celebrating breast cancer survivors. Would you please help me welcome to the stage right now, Kathy Scott.
Don't be too nervous. It's not 28 pages long, it's just 28 font. Good evening, and thank you for being here. You all look so beautiful and handsome this evening, but honestly, it's the beauty within you that's really radiating. As he said, I'm Kathy Scott, Vice President of Social Impact in the UPS Foundation, and a very proud board member of Wellspring Living. At UPS, we believe logistics is more than moving goods. It's about doing good. And we deliver pathways to empower resilient, just, and safe communities. And that's why we are standing with Wellspring Living. When a survivor needs care, shelter, and opportunity, this community makes sure help arrives with speed, with safety, and with dignity. And tonight, it's about truth, and it's about hope. We will celebrate remarkable victories, tell hard truths, tell very hard truths, and invite you deeper into the movement that brings women and children home, out of the hands of traffickers and into a caring community. This is my second Encourage Day. My first as a board member. And this evening, I have with me my beautiful family, my husband, Jeff. It's our anniversary this year. And our daughters, Savannah, Olivia, and our honorary daughter, Belle. And my UPS family, as you well heard earlier. Listen, they're here because this is personal to us, and it's personal to our business. As a mom, I see my girls in the face of every survivor. I think about the dreams that I hold for them, and I want every woman and child that we serve to have that same steady hope, someone at their side, resources within reach, and a path to become their fullest and their very best selves. That's what Wellspring Living does. I've seen it up close. Last year, UPSers, including myself, we rolled up our sleeves, we painted, we brought in furniture, and we helped design the Women's Residential Program campus, creating a place that they can call home. We followed a careful plan because that space is where hundreds of survivors will do the hard work, building the hope of where they will go. Many survivors have never lived in a safe home. Home can feel unfamiliar, yet it's essential to healing. Home is about belonging, and it's about connection. It's about encouragement and accountability and emotional support. Most importantly, it's not defined by the walls. It's defined by the people. Let me say that again. Thank you, Mike. It's not defined by the walls. It's defined by the people. That is why tonight's theme centers on being at home, in mind, in spirit, in community. It's an extraordinary year for Wellspring Living. In 2024, we served 200 women and children, including those at risk of sexual exploitation. Broke ground for an expanded residency campus in South Fulton to widen access to trauma-informed, victim-centered recovery care. Wellspring delivers Georgia's best-in-class recovery services. We've achieved so much together, yet there is more to do and even more people to bring home. And because home is also the community we share, I have to say, I love our city, y'all. Atlanta is the city in the forest. It's sweet tea and southern charm, and a whole lot of hustle. Yet traffickers also target cities like ours. Transportation hubs with pockets of economic vulnerability. Today, they exploit digital spaces, the dark web, and now AI. To reach from the Old Fourth Ward all the way out to Alpharetta and beyond, some of what you'll hear tonight, again, it's hard, it's really hard, but it's the truth. Our shared answer is clear. Not in our city, and not on our watch. United, we can scale beyond Atlanta and reach more lives. When we stand together, hard things become possible. And I know, because I've lived my own battle, as you just heard, but very different circumstances, but the same need for a village. Let me tell you, not many battles can stop this girl. You can see there's a little sass in there. I'm full of energy. I have a real zest for life. I've never met a stranger. I'm a business professional, a proud wife and mother, and most importantly, I'm a child of God. 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I didn't know what my new identity would be. I needed my ecosystem to see me as that strong, positive, and fearless woman I've always been. But inside, that's not who I was. I was scared, confused, broken, and literally exhausted with worry as I looked at these faces. I didn't know how to channel all those feelings, and I desperately needed somewhere to turn. My own family did not even know this at the time, but I had called the Susan G. Komen hotline. Some of you know Susan G. Komen is an advocacy organization for breast cancer in the United States. And when I called the hotline, I was met on the other end with a compassionate, reaffirming young woman that understood and validated my feelings. She helped me navigate toward my new reality, providing hope and guidance for a life that wasn't over, but in every respect was just beginning. I think about a trafficking survivor feeling the same way, feeling hopeless and confused and broken and exhausted with worry and nowhere to turn. Wellspring Living is that place for them to turn. It's a place of hope where they can go to. It's a support system that helps survivors see that life is not over like I felt it was. It's just beginning. With help, it helps them deal with their trauma. Wellspring provides those critical resources so they can live restored lives. That was the journey that I faced. My experience was only a very small glimpse of the journey that these young women and children are facing now in human trafficking. That's why partnership and community matter. Look at your community here. No one should fight their hardest battle alone. When we win together. I'm here to stand shoulder to shoulder with each of you as we remove the chains of exploitation from women and children. Together we can create pathways to freedom for survivors because every person deserves dignity, safety, and a chance to pursue their dreams. When I look around this room, I see an army of advocates. All of us have hearts that are ready to embrace survivors with the unconditional love and steady support they deserve. During dinner, we showed a series of statistics about trafficking and recovery. These numbers are daughters, sons, sisters, and brothers. They could be our children. And they are our children. Tonight we have the privilege of being part of their journey home. I'm so grateful for the leaders who are here right now that are joining us on this journey, representatives from the Georgia Attorney General's Office of Human Trafficking Prosecution Unit, from the City, the Atlanta Mayor's Office of Violence Reduction, and representatives from the City of South Fulton and Fulton County, and many other partners. Tonight, we will hear a vision that will help Wellspring to step up to another level, helping more women and children and families find healing. At the close of this evening, you will have an opportunity to invest in Wellspring Living's future. Your presence tonight is a gift in itself, and any decision going to give is personal. It's made by you and your family. And to lead us from stories to strategy, we're fortunate to have the most amazing, remarkable steward. You all know who I'm talking about. It takes such a special person to lead an anti-human trafficking organization. Our CEO, Christian Murphy. Christian leads with courage, compassion, and conviction, calling all of us to join her higher in our mission. So, Christian.
Good evening, everyone. It's really hard to follow someone so amazing as Kathy, but also what a beautiful woman with a spectacular story, with such great heart and conviction that she leads. She leads with everything she does, not only at UPS, but also in the community. I am so grateful that you all are here tonight, and I am really excited to share a couple of things with you all. And first, I'm going to ask you all to do a little exercise with me. You want to hold up your right hand, or your left hand if you're left-handed, and like you're a student trying to get a teacher's attention. Now hold your thumb to your palm, like you're raising number 4. Then close your hand over your thumb like a fist. Does anyone know what that means? That's right. That is what trafficking victims are told to do as a signal for help. But most women and children in need don't give away signals. Sometimes a victim looks like a kid from a middle-class, 2-parent home. It could be a woman who's looking for a normal job, finding herself trapped in a hotel room. Or a young boy sold by his foster mom to pay off a debt. Human trafficking doesn't discriminate. It doesn't stay within certain zip codes or target only certain demographics. It's happening right here in our own communities, right here in Georgia. I've been deeply committed to women's and children's advocacy since 2010, and a decade later is when I first met our founder, Mary Frances Bowling, as I asked her to facilitate a Junior League of Atlanta panel on the topic of sex trafficking. Let's give her a round of applause. Only 2 years later, I offered advice on fundraising for a campus expansion project, and that initial connection grew into a lasting relationship with Wellspring's founder. And I officially joined Wellspring in August of 2022 and stepped into the CEO role early last year. I grew up with a family that ran a funeral home. So long before my time as CEO, I was surrounded by people in crisis. I saw the impact of trauma and injustice early on, especially for people who look like me. And that experience shaped my passion for standing up in the community, giving voices to those who are unheard. Today, those who are unheard are often victims of trafficking. The sad news is this: there's more awareness than ever about trafficking, but it's still getting worse. According to the United Nations, International Labor Organization, traffickers victimize an estimated 27.6 million people worldwide. An already significant number of cases continues to grow. And here in Georgia, the National Human Trafficking Hotline received 299 inquiries from survivors and victims of human trafficking that same year, an increase of 32% from 2023. Atlanta is attractive to traffickers for so many reasons. It's true that Georgia is the transportation hub of the Southeast, with major railways and airports connecting through our area. We have a lot of families in crisis in the city, and this creates a breeding ground for exploitation through extreme poverty alongside extreme wealth, limited access to education, insufficient access to therapeutic and medical care, as well as widespread substance abuse issues. The result? Children are suffering in our communities, in our schools, our places of worship, and our after-school programs. We may only be seeing some of the symptoms in their behaviors, missing the signs that they're being misused and mistreated. We see symptoms, but often miss the brutal reality behind those symptoms. We may see a young woman who's missing school, but we don't see her trafficker, disguised as a boyfriend, who supplies her with drugs to medicate herself out of pain. We see another young woman whose home becomes a hotel, because it's better than sleeping under a bridge. For her, home is a scary place, but it's the only home that she knows. Wellspring Living exists for these women and children. We show them what a real home looks like. We work to replace fear with fellowship, a hotel with a real and secure home. Our work can be described in 3 pillars. Our first pillar is leaving the cycle. It's about removing anything in their lives that doesn't make a positive impact. We help survivors leave patterns of destruction and enter a process of support. Because everyone's experience is different, we honor each history and create a recovery experience based on their interests, their passions, and their needs. How do survivors hear about us? We have those who are referred to us by Georgia Department of Family and Children Services, the Department of Juvenile Justice, and also homeless shelters and word of mouth. Other times, there are children who are brought into us by a concerned parent or a guardian. A young woman we'll call Ashley was brought to us by her mother. When Ashley came to us, we matched her with a caseworker and then talked with her about her needs and her dreams. We didn't ask how this happened because so many times victims and survivors have been surrounded by shame and guilt. They've been told over and over again that it's their fault. Instead, we asked, what do you need to move forward? We asked, what dreams do you have that we can help you to achieve? Ashley was then placed into our secure environment, the Receiving Hope Center, Georgia's first residential intake center for trafficked youth. For Ashley, home is now safe. And for 90 days, she could focus on her studies as a high school student, doing classes online, while doing some of the normal things that teens like my own child does, like bake cookies, play kickball, and go out on field trips with her housemates. She met with her therapist 3 times a week and also participated in family therapy with her mother to help work things out. At home, she was never alone. Which brings us to pillar 2. We help survivors join the circle. Without a strong support system, survivors can struggle to reclaim their lives and may face the chances of re-exploitation, isolation, or distress. Staff and clinicians encircle survivors, collaborating together to provide meaningful professional care. I am proud to say Wellspring provides Atlanta's best-in-class services for survivors of human trafficking. One of our recent graduates, Kendra, drove 12 hours from another state to come to Wellspring. She was escaping a boyfriend, and every time Kendra didn't make enough money with her body to fuel his drug habit, he locked her away without food. Kendra was very angry. She deserved to be angry, but she didn't want her anger to block her recovery. So during her time at our women's residential program, she took classes on anger management and received cognitive behavioral therapy to, as she called it, rewire her brain. For Kendra, home was hard work. But being in a community where she saw people build trust with each other modeled something that she had never seen before. Our program taught her that love is not transactional. It's okay to love yourself with dignity. and love others without wanting anything in return. Home is lasting and trusting relationships. Our final pillar, wearing the crown, is about future hope and emotional freedom. Scripture says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because that person will receive the crown of life." Since our founding, Wellspring has served more than 3,000 women and children. And the stories of Ashley and Kendra are just representative of the realities that we are fortunate to see every day. They come to us at different stages with different needs, and Wellspring helps become their new home. But they graduate our programs the same way, wearing the crown of a hope-filled life. We align participants with their areas of interest, creating paths for them to pursue the lives of their dreams. One survivor who wanted to become a nurse was connected with someone in the medical profession. Kendra, for example, now lives in stable housing, has stayed sober for 3 years, and is a student at a cosmetology school, closer than ever to achieving her dreams of opening a salon. For them, home is being the best version of themselves wherever they go. We've invited you here tonight for a special reason. In the fight against trafficking, tonight marks a moment, an inflection point, and a moment of reckoning. Our world recognizes that sex trafficking is a problem, but who is leading a unified response? Where are the resources, the comprehensive training, the faithful opposition to this problem? The bad guys are organized. We too must be organized. Tonight, with your help, Wellspring Living takes a huge step against the forces of trafficking. Tonight, we can take the mantle of leadership against this monster. Tonight, we are asking you to help us take a massive step towards fighting against the dark forces of trafficking. Already, people are looking to us. More and more organizations are looking at Wellspring because of success stories like Ashley and Kendra's. Through our training institute, we can help organizations across the country and around the world replicate our model so more women and children can wear the crown. Woo! Right now, real brick and mortar housing is our biggest need. Our participants need a continuum of care that provides safety, stability, and support for the long haul. Without safe housing, too many survivors risk returning to vulnerability, exploitation, and lost potential. Next year, we will complete our cornerstone building. This training and supportive services facility will provide the Women's Academy with a permanent home and increasing our annual capacity by 25% to more than 200 participants. We're already developing cottages that remind me of tiny homes. And this is not a secret, but Chris knows very well I'm a little obsessed with tiny homes. Those are spaces that will help build a foundation for a safe and sustainable future. These cottages give survivors a taste of independence that maybe they haven't experienced for many years. If only you knew how life-giving it is for a survivor to decorate her own walls, to make her own memories in safety. Here in these cottages, home will be freedom. On the youth side of this development project, Wellspring has become Georgia's first long-term residential program for youth of all genders. Of the estimated 27.6 million people trafficked worldwide, 22% are men and boys. Drawing on 17 years of experience working with trafficked youth, we'll create a comprehensive, healing environment where boys and girls can reclaim their lives. The need is growing, and so is their access to critical services. Our vision for bringing more lives home extends beyond this campus. And in the past couple of years, we have significantly increased the capacity of our training institute. While residential care requires extensive resources and infrastructure, our training model allows us to multiply our impact. We're helping organizations across the country implement our crisis center model across the country and learn from our 5 years of experience as we move into long-term care. Like consultants, we guide communities plagued by trafficking to create similar solutions for their women and children. We've partnered with Micah's Promise in Columbus, Georgia, Her Lighthouse, Lampstead, Prism Project, and more organizations across 20 states. in Canada, Costa Rica, Germany, and Romania. Why would they follow us? Because Wellspring Living is a leader offering paths towards healing, awareness, and providing educations and opportunities for advocacy. And most importantly, we are creating safe spaces for survivors to live. There's no one else who does what we do at the scale that we do it. To reach the millions of people suffering around the world, we have to start at home. To reach millions, Georgia must lead, Atlanta must lead, and you must lead. Imagine with me a Georgia where every trafficking survivor finds not just shelter, but true belonging. Imagine if Wellspring Living was to trafficking survivors what Season G Komen is for breast cancer patients. Imagine a place where people feel so fiercely confident, so fiercely loved, so fiercely supported that they know they can find themselves again. Survivors will know there's a place called Wellspring Living, where home is restoration. I want you to close your eyes so we can imagine this transformation together. I want you to picture a mother tucking her kids away at bedtime in their new cottage, their first home. A young boy playing kickball with his friends outside, free from his abusers. A woman going to group therapy session for the first time. Ashley getting up early in the morning, putting on her scrubs to serve at the hospital downtown. You can open your eyes now and keep them open. I want you to think about Georgia becoming the standard bearer for our nation, our training model creating a network of healing that reaches into every community. Home is safe. How many of us have gone through Hartsfield-Jackson and heard the mayor say over the announcement, Atlanta is the pride of the South? This message plays right after another that tells us to keep our eyes open for the signs of human trafficking. It highlights a truth that we can't ignore, that even in a place known for its progress and its promise, the suffering of women and children festers in its shadows. If we truly want to live up to the title, Pride of the South, for our city and our state, then we must ensure that pride is rooted in compassion. Being proud of our home means protecting everyone in it, especially those who are most vulnerable. Georgia is home, so let's make sure that all of our women and children feel that way.
We want to believe that we are keeping others safe, but the reality is,
it happens in every congressional district in America.
A lot of us don't want to believe that it can be happening and occurring right next to us.
22 mugshots today calling these people child predators. Investigators say it is a tough reminder about the dangers lurking on the internet all the time.
in our schools, they're in our classroom. Every space that we're in, there is someone who's been victimized.
Sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking.
I have stories of kids, they may be with 10, 12 guys in one night. Those kids are waiting for each and every one of us to bring them home.
And the way that we do that is helping people to leave the cycle. They will then join the circle, and then hopefully the most beautiful part is when they get to wear the crown. Part about leaving the cycle is like exiting crisis. Taking that first step and really feeling like there's someone here to catch me. It's moving from sleeping on someone's couch into a place in a room that's your own. But they also need access to critical mental health resources.
Wellspring Living provides a holistic approach to care for our survivors, from therapy to life skills to love and to nurturing environment.
It looks like having the access to educational resources, being in a classroom again, maybe for the first time in a long time.
Get their GED and career building skills.
And experiencing stability in a new and different way.
It's just breaking those chains that they have mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and bringing them home.
I think it's about leaving the cycle of abuse, of challenge, of darkness, of despair. And then I think there's like a step into joining the circle.
And we're asking our ladies, to give up essentially 12 to 18 months to redefine, what healthy looks like for them, what happiness looks like for them. And so that's a lot to ask.
You're not alone anymore. You're a part of being in community with others. And it's holding hands. It's kind of like we can all close our eyes and imagine to my left, to my right, and directly across from me is someone who is here to hold light for me.
Our circle at Wellspring Living looks like love. It looks like community. It looks like healing, walking alongside them every step of the way.
Just when they feel like they're being seen, there's something about helping them to exit and get ready to go back into the real world. Then the next step is wearing the crown.
There's a lot of tears, there's a lot of happiness and success and failure that goes into it. There's a lot of trust building and to rebuild their relationship with God. He's only going to guide them to so much better and to a healthier environment.
The people that we serve get to move into their own home, their own place, decorate it how they want, to make it their own. It's about being independent, but also being in still with community.
To see the transformation that they go through from day one to the day that they graduate our program is something I just really enjoy. To see these success stories, it never gets old, it never gets old.
When I think about the people that we get to serve each and every day, I think that they all want to kind of extend the invitation, even though they're afraid of whether we'll say yes or not. They want to know that someone cares. If there's something that keeps me up at night, it is knowing that there are people who haven't found us yet, and there are people who are in need of care, and that they want to be loved just like we want to be loved.
I truly believe that one day at a time that we can really fight human trafficking and combat this problem.
When I think about where we're going over the next 5 years, we are becoming more survivor informed. And because of that, we will triple plus the amount of people that we're serving each and every day.
I have to keep going because someone is depending on us right now.
It's gonna be alright.
Waiting for us.
Turn around and look back in.
We can't do it by ourselves.
And all will be made.
Together, we can do so much.
And all will be made once again.
You all, I'm standing up here. This is all on script. Mayor Francis, I was watching you watch the video. Christian, I was watching you watch the video. You all have shared so much and given us so much. I want to be a part of this incredible journey. And I'm going to invite you to be a part, a pivotal part. This is a catalytic moment to join this circle of giving at Wellspring Living. We are standing at the threshold of a breakthrough in restorative care and the anti-trafficking movement. The extraordinary work of our team is not only changing lives here, but also building a model ready to scale. Ready to scale. City by city, state by state, we are filling critical gaps so the cycle of exploitation can finally be broken and the story of restoration can truly begin. Wellspring Living is leading this movement. Your generosity is what makes it possible. So what better time than tonight to step forward as a new donor or by deepening your commitment to help us cheer on survivors and stand as champions for their future. At the center of your tables, you will find an envelope that looks like this. Please open it now and distribute the investment portfolio. waves of impact, opportunities to open more doors, to help us say again and again, welcome home to women and children seeking safety, healing, and a new beginning. You'll see a few giving opportunities listed under each of the 3 pillars Christian talked about tonight. They will help you understand what is possible when we make our home a place of hope. I'll speak about 1 or 2 projects in each, but more are listed for your consideration. If you would, please turn to page 5, where you'll find Pillar 1, Leaving the Cycle. You'll see a variety of projects listed here, and every project will help a survivor begin their journey to care, safety, and stability. You'll see giving opportunities of all sizes here. For example, a gift of $5,000 will provide life skills, classes, and weekly growth activities for 5 children at the Girls Residential Program or Receiving Hope Center. On the next page, your support for our second pillar, Joining the Circle, will create a community of care through education, mentorship, and trauma-informed relationships. You'll see some examples of the way Wellspring will surround survivors with care and practical support. For example, a gift of $20,000 will allow 10 women in the Women's Academy career intensive track to build long-term economic mobility through financial literacy, coaching, and hands-on learning experiences. If you would, please turn the page and take a look at our final pillar, Wearing the Crown. Your investment here will cultivate the next chapter of success for families and multiply hope beyond Georgia for generations to come. A gift of $10,000 empowers the Training Institute to equip dozens of frontline professionals and replicate Wellspring's model in other communities. And a transformational gift of $850,000 will create a sanctuary and safety for dozens of women and children each year, offering specialized care and dignity of sacred spaces designed specifically for healing. Our total giving need at this time is $1 million. Now, let's take a moment to look at the participation form. At the top, you'll see giving amounts indicating various levels of support. In section 2, please let us know how and when you intend to fulfill your gift. If you'd like to make a commitment, but need to consult with your financial advisors, please check the box there in section 2. Our staff members will follow up with you after tonight, and don't you worry, they'll follow up. If you'd like to give your gift immediately with a credit card, we'll take that too. Please scan the QR code with your phone. If you'd like to give a gift of appreciated assets, you can let us know about that in section 3, and we'll follow up with you later. And finally, please fill out your personal contact information. Upon your decision, please separate the 2 forms and put the top copy in the envelope provided. At the conclusion of our time together, you will have an opportunity to tell us how you will join us in our mission. At the back of the room, on your way out to dessert, and did you take a look at that dessert list? I did. You'll find a bowl where you can place your sweet commitment. If you have any questions about giving, please find Victoria and the team. Victoria, give us a wave. It's Victoria, or a member of the development team. Let's give them a hand. They'll be sure to get the answers you need. They'll be at the punch bowl in the back. Your investment in this movement impacts the lives we serve and the lives we still need to reach. Never give up hope, because your life matters and has great value. We pledge to keep fighting and working on your behalf because you are worth it. Right now, you're going to hear from someone whose ministry reflects our unwavering hope and relentless advocacy. Pastor Leonce B. Crump Jr. is the chair of our board, a man of many callings. He embraces all of his work with heart. Listen, the church has spoken over here. Let me tell you. I hear it. Come on over. I want to read all these accolades with you right here by my side. He embraces all of his work with heart, with grit, and with purpose. A seasoned chef, a very passionate pastor, a dynamic author, a world-class athlete, and a devoted husband and father. Lance is a living testament to the beauty of life and an incredible example of how much you pour into others. Welcome.
Just gotta raise that up just a little bit. You may not know it, but tonight you've received an invitation to be a part of what is quite possibly the greatest work that you can be a part of. I don't know where everyone is in their faith journey here, but what I do know is when I look at the way of Jesus, there's a great difficulty for any one of us to disagree with what he held most closely to his heart. And that was to see those who are on the margins, those who are most devalued, most demoralized, welcomed into a world of beauty and grace and comfort and safety. And that's the invitation that you're receiving this evening. It's the same one that I received in 2007. I just finished a brief NFL career, and I was trying to find what I would do with the rest of my life. I've been cut by the New Orleans Saints on ESPN, by the way. So, you want to know horror? It's seeing your name scroll across the bottom of ESPN before you get a phone call from your agent. And I was a bit lost. You see, I had a plan. I was going to play professionally for 5 to 7 years, and then I was going to step into what I believed at the time was my calling in a life of politics. And then all of that was brought to an end very quickly. And it was in the middle of that chaos, that storm, that disillusionment that I met a man who invited me to Cambodia. And while I was there in Cambodia, I saw many things. I saw people living among trash heaps. I saw poverty that I could not process. People living on less than $1 a day. But what I was most impacted by was seeing women who were being used as tools for other people's sick desires. I remember vividly breaking into houses. That's what they use large people for. To pull these women from the clutches of traffickers. Some of them were so drug-induced that they actually fought us to go back because they knew that there they would get their fix met because these men had so thoroughly gotten them hooked on drugs. After 2 weeks, I decided that I was moving to Cambodia. My wife can confirm that. I called her from an internet cafe. You guys wouldn't know what that is, but before it was in your pocket, you had to go to a place. And it went, you know what I'm talking about. And as I sweated into a bowl of rice, questioning all of my life's decisions, I told my wife, we're moving to Cambodia and I'm going to give my life to fighting this issue. Well, the good Lord had other plans, and he moved me back to the United States, and we started a church together, and I remembered this unsettledness in my soul. I remember being in Cambodia, and I remember saying to myself that either I'm going to spend a lifetime trying to forget what I saw here, or I'm going to spend a lifetime trying to solve it. And I didn't know exactly how I would do that until I met the indomitable Mary Frances Holding. Yeah. Don't know where you are. You changed my life. She invited me to speak at the White Umbrella event. And after speaking, I knew that the invitation that I received in 2007 was finally finding its fruition here in the U.S. See, I knew that trafficking was a global issue, but I had no idea what it was like. I had no idea, listen to me, I had no idea that the Super Bowl I was trying to make it to was a hotbed for abusing women. I had no idea that this city that I love was at the center of such horrific activity. And there, my invitation that I received standing in a small village in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, came to fruition in downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And I was invited to be a part of this board. And I have no regrets. I will give my life to solving this issue. And that's the invitation that I'm extending to you this evening. There are a lot of things that we could live for. Most of them are fleeting. Most of them won't matter. I've owned beautiful vehicles, I've owned beautiful houses. Guess what? At some point, they will all end up in a dump somewhere. But the impact that we make in transforming a life, those are reverberations that go through eternity. I don't care what you believe. You know, and I know, that that type of legacy, where we know that we have made an investment in creating a future for someone who otherwise would not have had one. There's no vehicle, no vacation, no gorgeous home that can replace that feeling. So here to you, friends, I extend that invitation to make an investment in what I believe is the greatest ROI on the planet, the flourishing of other human beings, the uplifting of the most marginalized in society. Yes, if we were in church right now, I'd say that's what I need, a good amen, but we're not in church. There is no greater ROI. There's no greater use of your life. And I would say this, and forgive me if I'm out of line, Madam CEO, Madam Founder, but your life won't make sense until you are investing it in the life of other people. I promise you. Because at the heart of purpose, it's not what serves you, it's how you serve others. That is that delightful feeling. And so may I extend that invitation from 2007 to 2025, that you would step into the stream of creating flourishing and a future for people who can't create it for themselves. That you would be sacrificially generous, so that we would not be those remembered for the things that we have, but for the lives that we change. Thank you.
Home is somewhere that I can decompress. Home is freedom. Home is new for me. I was 16. That was when I was prescribed Xanax. That was kind of when I discovered that, hey, you can feel different. And I just pursued that. And when I was 18, I tried heroin for the first time.
and any bit of humanity that I had diminished. I would be praying to God to just call me home. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this anymore. I never could have imagined that my home was Wellspring. Andrea is someone who is so passionate about what she does. She intimidated me a little bit. Is that okay to say? Okay. Okay, good.
It's no secret that Leanne wasn't ready when she came the first time.
When I left, I just immediately went right back to it.
The minute, almost the minute she got back out there, the people that wanted to exploit her used her for their profit.
I wasn't willing to move past what I wanted to do and what felt good to me in that moment.
They have to be ready to make change. We do not have this magical program or these miracle workers.
Oh, it went on for 9 years. What broke that ultimately was spending time in jail. During that year and a half of incarceration, I had a lot of time to separate myself from that life. I asked my case manager, I want to go somewhere like Wellspring. And she asked me, why don't you just apply at Wellspring?
All these years later, I'm sitting in my office and a new staff that was not here when Leanne was here the first time says her name. And I said, and she wants to see me?
At the Women's Residential Program, there is cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, group therapy, life skills groups, all kinds of things to engage in. Those groups helped me take a deeper dive into who I was, who I wanted to be, and how to get there.
She's really different this time, and she's really ready.
I went so long just jumping from place to place with a backpack to having my own place, and to me that is freedom. I didn't know that home looked like my own apartment. I didn't know that home looked like recovery and healing and restoration. I didn't know. I didn't know that home would be peace. I didn't know what home was going to be in that moment. But home has flourished into something stable, something comfortable. And I don't have to carry around a backpack on the streets anymore. I am a survivor. I am an overcomer. I have faith. I am a professional. I am able. I am willing. I am grateful. I am whole.
I am a child of God.
Thank you so much, Leanne, for sharing your story in so many different ways. The bravery and courage that you exhibit every time that I see you is just such a ray of vibrant light. thank you to Andrea, my Diet Dr. Pepper co-fan. Brings lots of joy and lots of realness to the work that we do each and every day. So what a blessing it is to serve with such amazing people and to serve with such amazing things in mind. I have some exciting news. Let's see, I think I can find it. There, okay. I want to celebrate something with you all together. Before we arrived this evening, my team shared that we had already heard from a handful of generous supporters. People who have already given more than $400,000 to help us reach our goal. I pray you all will join with them to help us to serve more women and children who need us, who need you. All right, now that's exciting enough, but as you can imagine, as a national leader in anti-trafficking, Wellspring Living recognizes those who have made powerful contributions in the fight against exploitation and abuse. Past recipients of our Courage Award include amazing leaders like Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr and former Atlanta City Attorney Nina Hickson. Tonight, we have privilege to honor this year's Courage Award recipient, Nicole Morris. Nancy Blank, the director of the Arthur M. Blank Foundation, calls her a remarkable woman whose kindness and commitment knows no bounds. She constantly gives of herself to uplift others. Her generosity is not in just what she shares, but in the warmth, the light, and joy that she brings to everyone around her. Nancy said that she is proud of what Nicole does for Georgians every day and proud to call her a dear friend. Carla Smith, the Senior Vice President and Executive Director of the Atlanta American Heart Association, says Nikki pours into her Atlanta community with the love and compassion that inspires us all. Alongside her husband Raheem, Nikki shows us what true service looks like. Our city looks better because of her. As a mother, an advocate, and passionate philanthropist, Nikki has always believed in the transformative power of community support. Inspired by her own experiences and driven by a desire to uplift underserved communities, she co-founded the nonprofit organization, Organized Angels, with a mission to make resources available for those in need, including victims of human trafficking. When I first met this amazing woman last summer, we were talking over lunch with other nonprofit leaders like Carla. Nikki and Raheem only recently moved back to Atlanta, but she saw our city's needs and was ready to hit the ground running. Community work is a core part of their family's passion and values, definitely teamwork. Nikki's heart for the anti-trafficking movement developed several years ago, and she learned a lot about trafficking after reading about a newspaper headline about trafficking busts right around the corner from their own home. That's what gave her the courage to stand with us in this fight. It's time for us to show love for this year's 2025 Courage Award recipient, Nikki Morris.
Good evening. First, I want to thank Wellspring Living for this incredible honor. I'm truly humbled to be standing here tonight among such powerful advocates and survivors, those who have lived through unimaginable darkness and have found their way back to light. I'm here tonight not as an expert, but as a mom. I became aware of the devastating realities of sex trafficking, not through headlines and statistics, but through motherhood. As a mother raising children in both Tampa and Atlanta, two cities heartbreakingly ranked among the highest in the nation for sex trafficking, I couldn't ignore the truth any longer. At first, I felt overwhelmed. How could something so horrific be happening so close to home? At school drop-offs, during soccer games, in our neighborhoods. This crisis was hiding in plain sight. And then I realized that's what it feeds on. Our silence, our discomfort, our disbelief. But being a mother has taught me many things. Chief among them is that we fight for our children, we protect them. And when one child is hurting, we don't look away, we show up. In August 2020, law enforcement launched a sweeping effort across Georgia, dubbed Operation Not Forgotten, to locate missing and exploited children. Over 2 weeks, U.S. Marshals, fugitive hunters, and other agencies recovered 26 endangered children and found 13 more who were missing. These were children at high risk of sex trafficking, exploitation, or abuse, and many were found right here throughout the metro Atlanta, including Gwinnett County. Hearing about this mission hit me deeply. I was living in Gwinnett, and knowing that such suffering was happening so close to home sparked something inside me. I realized I couldn't stay on the sidelines. That moment propelled me toward involvement. I chose to get involved with Wellspring Living because they don't just see survivors, they see daughters, sisters, and futures worth fighting for. They provide not just shelter, but safety, not just therapy, but healing, not just resources, but redemption. My work with Wellspring has not only opened my eyes, it has inspired me to take my advocacy a step further. That inspiration became Organized Angels, a foundation I created with a mission to make a lasting impact on our community by uniting compassionate individuals and essential resources to uplift those in need. Through our foundation, we proudly work with a variety of trusted charities committed to enhancing lives and providing essential support to those facing challenging circumstances. We are honored to collaborate with impactful organizations like Wellspring Living. Together, we work toward a shared vision of positive change, helping individuals, families, and communities achieve hope, stability, and a brighter future. Over the past year, I had the privilege of calling on the women alongside me at the Atlanta Falcons organization to step up at Wellspring. Together, we have helped fund Wellspring's Field Day, decorate their community living space for the holiday, donated clothing and items to their store and boutique, and delivered yoga mats so residents could create wellness routines for both their body and mind, along with gift bags for goodies just to bring a little joy. And here's the truth. It doesn't take much to make a difference. A little goes a long way. Simply showing someone they're thought of and cared for can change their day or even their life. As many of you know, Atlanta will be one of the host cities for the World Cup in 2026. A historic and exciting moment for our city. But large events of this scale also bring increased risk of trafficking. That's why I'm currently working closely with the city leaders to develop a comprehensive plan for education and awareness around human sex trafficking in the lead up to the World Cup. I'm asking all of you to join me in this effort so that together we can ensure our community is trained, prepared, and equipped to make this a safe event for everyone here on our home front. I believe the most powerful thing we can do as parents is to raise children who know their worth, who know how to speak up, and who are taught to look out for others. And I believe the most powerful thing we can do as a community is to refuse to let trafficking have the final word. What we're not changing, we're choosing. So tonight, I urge each of you, leave here with the thought of paying even the littlest bit forward. Show up, do what you can, big or small. To every survivor here tonight, you're the reason we fight. Your courage fuels us. Your voice changes lives. Your story is not over, it's only just beginning. Thank you for letting me be a small part of this movement. I'm committed to continuing the work until every child is safe and every survivor is free. Thank you.
With Nikki and the amazing Falcons family. Go Falcons! Wellspring Living team that is finding their way out to the dessert station. And to each of you, wow, what an incredible evening that we've had together. I hope that you will stick around. This is only the beginning of a special evening, but I want Sojo to help us to kind of get to find out what's next.
Well, listen, so many people look at Atlanta for how we unite and do something good. So we want you to take some time. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. Maybe it's God, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's yourself. And really ask, what can I do? What could we do for those that are in need, for those that may be forgotten, for those that are waiting for someone just like you? As you walk out these doors, you'll see multiple boxes right out at each one of these exits. You'll simply take your card, you'll fill that out, make that commitment, and we love it. We love it if each and every one of you can leave it in one of those boxes on the way out. We also have the prayer box right here, so make sure you send whatever prayer report, or praise report, I should say, and prayer request. Make sure you leave right there. And then we got a DJ, okay? So some of you guys are ready to turn up, and I'm with you, okay? I'm with you. There will be a DJ out there. We will be able to dance and have a good time, as well as desserts for some of you that want to be more dignified and watch from the sidelines. You'll be able to eat and laugh at those people who choose to cut the rug. It's as simple as that. But before we do that, we would love it if you truly take some consideration as to what you could do for those that are in need. Thank you for an incredible night. It is just beginning. Don't cut out of here. Have some fun and make sure you greet somebody. Take care.